Australian rap, something that I'm sure not a lot of you have heard of, well, unless you live in Australia, of course. However, these days it's starting to become a vibe for quite a lot of people. Okay, so here's a brief history on the Australian rap scene in the past decade. Since 2010, Australian hip-hop or rap artists have been winning quite a few international awards, and that's pretty dope because they're finally getting the recognition that they deserve. Due to them winning international awards, they have been more and more exposed to the world. Like, did you know that Iggy Azalea is Australian? Honestly, I had no clue about this until recently. Speaking of artists, let's take a look at the progression of some of them and how they're going to dominate the rap industry soon. First, we're going to be looking at Yesssir. His birth name is Scott and he was born the 21st of August in 1997. He likes to go by his stage name, Yesssir. He came into Australian rap not too long ago actually, 2009 to be exact. I would say it's safe to say that Yesssir didn't even come into Australian rap. He was one of the founding fathers. Anyways, this was back in 2009 to be exact. Yesssir has made a ton of songs since then and they just keep getting better and better. He dropped his first album in 2011, which is pretty impressive considering he only started up in 2009. The album is called Nebulizer. So yeah, he started off as a small town junkie druggo stereotype, but his music honestly progressed a heap and nowadays he's definitely worth listening to. Now, if you've heard of Yesssir, then you've definitely heard of 360 before. His birth name's Matthew, and basically him and Yesssir would always be at each other in rap battles all the time, and these were labeled as some of the most legendary rap battles in Australian rap history. And honestly, I can agree. If you want to give it a search up, I'll definitely suggest checking some of them out after this video. Yesssir, in my opinion, would always win. However, this definitely has mixed opinions. 360's music has improved a lot also over the years. Now guys, let's take a look at some modern day Aussie rappers, or as some are calling them, the new wave. First, we're going to be looking at Chillin' It and how he's changing the rap game in Australia. Now his birth name is Blake and he released his first debut album in 2018. Yeah, he's still a baby when it comes to the industry, but he's doing quite well for himself in a very short amount of time. He's released 2 albums within 2 years, and I gotta say that they're pretty damn good. Now guys, let's take a look at a small clip from one of his songs off his first album, Women, Weed and Wordplay. The song is called Inner Thoughts.
Headphones on for the train ride, starting to tear through my bones.
Now guys, this style is so different to Yesssir and 360, and of course all the other older Aussie rappers. It's definitely catchy and easy to listen to, but his type of rap appeals to a whole other different kind of fan base. Have you heard any of his kind of music? I'm pretty sure he made an episode with another one of his fellow rap friends named Husky. Husky definitely has a bit of a cult following around the country, as he is more on the underrated side of things. Anyways, here's a bit of a preview from that episode. This one's called 4 Days in the Trap.
Go to eat. I'll be right beside you till we 43, chilling, getting high, providing all these imported treats.
Speaking of Husky guys, he's also helping with changing the direction of where Australian rap is going, and it's going in a great direction right now. His birth name is Ben, plain and simple. I guess Husky has a more of a unique ring to it. He's actually quite young. Ben was born in 1992. Guys, that means he's not even 30 yet, which is pretty insane. So he started around 2015, and that's not too long ago. That means he was around 23 years old when he released his first official song. I've seen a lot of posts on social media where other rappers love his music, like Lil Snow for instance said, Husky is the only rapper I listen to in Australia that can give me goosebumps. Listening to Husky's tracks is like looking at pieces of beautiful art. They're timeless and so full of talent, it's generally awe-inspiring. Anyways guys, let's take a look at some of this talent.
Another day, another test for me. Another whole no best.
So Husky definitely has a whole different style to rap in Oz, and that's great because it's a new decade and time for a fresh start again with music. You know, variety. Also, if you take a look at his videos, they've got their own unique thing to them that really makes them all stand out in a good way. Speaking of young artists, has anyone heard of Wombat? Well, if you haven't, then it's kind of a big deal at the moment. He's only 23 and he's getting recognized for everything he's doing right now. People love his music. I don't really know what his real name is, so if you do, then please let us know in the comment section below. But anyways, let's listen to a small snippet of one of his recent songs.
She said she loves me, I said I love her more. I told her jump, she does it, I cut the bungee cord.
Now guys, if you know Wombat, you know he has his own style, and if you don't, well, you do now. I don't know what else there is to say about Wombat. He's a G, and he'll always be a G. Now let's move on to the next one on the list. Okay guys, so we just keep getting younger and younger on this list, but up next we've got a 16-year-old named The Kid Leroy. I know 16-year-olds that struggle with math, and this young kid's making music and is getting over 20 million views on some of his videos. His birth name is Charlton, and he's got 21 million views on his single that he released called Diva. He broke into the industry around 2018 and is doing pretty well for himself and improving the industry with the other faces around. His music reminds me a bit of Post Malone, but at the same time, he's got this thing about his music that just makes it different. Let's take a little preview of Diva.
That little bitch is diva, fucking leave her. My life is a movie directed.
Honestly guys, he doesn't really sound that Aussie at all, but believe it or not, he was born in Waterloo, Sydney. Honestly, I reckon this kid's pretty great. What do you think of him? I think artists like him and Arno Faraji are taking things to a whole different level of rap in Australia. They're definitely introducing a new wave. I don't know if it's just me, but does it sound different to any other rappers we mentioned on the list? Let us know in the comments down below. Well guys, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope we broadened your knowledge on the next up and coming genre. And as far as that goes, I'll see you next time on Vibe FM.